Hi everyone, this is an overview of our course outline for Nursing 3514, Nurse as Leader and Agent of Change. We are Section O. We are in the winter term 2021. My name is Sandra Peniston, formerly Scarrett. My office is 331 in the HNES building. I'm not sure if we will get back there or not, but if we do, that's where we will meet face-to-face. Otherwise, we will be doing office hours virtually. And what I ask you to do is email me at scarrett@yorku.ca, and I'll set up a meeting for us to meet virtually via Zoom, or we can talk by phone. So as you know, the time and location, the class was scheduled to take place on Thursdays from 2:30 to 5:20. That will not take place. I will not be doing 3-hour virtual lectures, but I will be holding 60-minute synchronous Zoom meetings each week, except week 10 because that is our presentation week, on Thursdays from 3 to 4. And so this will give an opportunity for our class to come together. We can discuss any of the course content for the week, discuss any relevant leadership issues, and answer questions about course assignments and course content. And so this is going to be a very self-directed student learning experience. You'll be involved in doing online modules, and then we will come together for an hour to discuss the online modules. And so the course is all about developing your knowledge and skills related to leadership and change within the context of nursing practice. So we'll look through some very common theoretical models of leadership and change and examine how you can apply them to your nursing practice. We will look at opportunities and strategies for change and innovation within your nursing practice. And a lot of it, we're doing self-reflection, and students will analyze their own perspectives and abilities and potential for leadership and change. And so the organization of the course, so again, there's self-directed learning that will take place through modules each week, required readings, and then we will meet for an hour each week to discuss course content and any other questions you may have about leadership, or if there's anything going on in the news or something that's recent about nursing leadership, we can discuss that as well. Okay, so on page 2, it just again goes over how the classes will be laid out. Let me just get my marker back here. This part goes through how classes will be laid out. And again, there are required readings, but there's no required textbook. And it's important that you are involved in the online modules as well as the required readings. These are the student learning outcomes, and you will actually review them in the pre-work module, and I've asked you to rate them as the top 3 that interest you the most. And these are some of the concepts that we will cover in this course. So take a second to pause here and read some of these concepts that we will cover in the next 12 weeks. And so the links to the course, the links to the CNO competencies are here. And so as you know, the CNO competencies have changed for 2020, and they're divided into the specific RN roles. And so these are the mapping of the competencies for 3514 for CNO entry to practice competencies. These are the links to the NCLEX exam and subcategories, which we will cover in this course. As I said, there is no required textbook, and all required readings will be online through eClass. I've also included a resource on eClass for APA 7th edition referencing for all our coursework. And then again, you know how to get on eClass, and we are Section O. The evidences of learning are here, and so there are 4 main evidences of learning. You will be involved in 5 asynchronous online class activities, each worth 5% each, and they are all due at certain times throughout the course. And so they're typically due the Wednesday night before our class at 23:59. So there's 5 of them. They're each worth 5% each to give you a mark of 25%. You will also be involved in doing an independent scholarly paper, which is worth 30% of your mark. It's due week 5, February the 11th at 14:30. That is a Thursday. Week 10, you will be involved in presenting your student-led change initiative and presentation. And so that will take place on March 25th during class time at 14:30. It's worth 20% of your mark. And then lastly, an e-portfolio where you will bring together all your learning throughout the course of the semester and demonstrate how you met the 6 learning outcomes. And I will be reviewing the e-portfolio in more detail as class moves forward, and that's worth 25% of your mark. Okay, so expected course learning behaviors, just discussing, student attendance is required. So it's very important that you come to class and you have an understanding of what we're discussing in class. Students are encouraged to promptly communicate with their CD if they have a problem that they are going to meet class. Students are required to promptly contact the CD and request an extension to assignments if they feel that they're not going to be able to submit their assignment on time. As you know, we will be using screen-based simulation, but more so not virtual simulation, but using Zoom to conduct our face-to-face meetings. Unless the assignment has been designated as a group assignment, you must complete all assignments individually, and so we have a group assignment in here. And then students will have group assignments and it will include an individual component. So when you do your group work, it's important that you each take an independent part of it and independently provide an individual component to the group presentation. So you're all working together. A little bit about the assignments down here. So there's more information on eClass about the assignments. And so as you know, you're responsible for 5 asynchronous class activities, each worth 5% each for a total of 25%. And if you miss one of the asynchronous activities, marks cannot be made up if you did not submit the activities by the assigned due date. And these activities may be in the format of a short answer or a quiz, or maybe an online journaling or a discussion forum, or maybe a short reflection paper. For the week 10, where you will be presenting your group presentation, one of the weeks you will be submitting your preparatory work. So that will be one of your 5% assignments. And so all online asynchronous activities are due by 23:59 by the due date specified on eClass. So the scholarly paper on leadership is due February the 11th, which is week 5, and you will be submitting it to turn it in by 14:30. And this paper is going to demonstrate your critical thinking and application of your own intra and interpersonal self-awareness knowledge and leadership theories to create your own personal leadership definition. And you will also be applying an arts-based example. So there'll be more information on eClass on how to complete this paper. The student-led change initiative and presentation. So in self-selected groups of 6 members, students will explore and critically analyze a current issue that is influencing nursing practice and healthcare. And so you will be submitting your group list or your group names through a discussion forum on week 3, which is January the 28th. And each group will research the issue, create and implement a change initiative on a social media platform. And so the evaluation of the initiative also needs to be demonstrated. So you're going to be implementing a change initiative and also evaluating it. And then you will be doing an online 5-minute presentation, which showcases your work. And you will be posting that to eClass. So most students, what they will do is they will create their video ahead of time, and then we will be posting all the videos to eClass, so it's not a live demonstration. And then we'll discuss this in more detail, but please note for the topics of horizontal violence or bullying and burnout, only 3 groups from each class will be permitted. And the first 3 groups who sign up for each topic will be selected. In more detail will come on eClass. And then the last part is the ePortfolio, which is due April the 12th at 23:59. It's worth 25% of your mark. And what it is looking at the 6 course learning outcomes, which were on page 2 of the course outline, and indicating how you met those course outcomes through course material and also independently through some other evidences. And I will review this assignment in detail when we meet through Zoom. So as you know, the grading for York U will be used, and these are the grades, and this is the description of the York U grading system. Most students will receive a B+ in this class. The average is usually about a 76%. So a B+ means that it's very good and you've met the requirements of the assignment. An A is excellent and an A+ is exceptional. And very few students will receive an A+. So B+ means you've met the requirements of the assignment. It's very good. And A+ if you've done a little bit more than the requirements, maybe better research, maybe better writing, things like that. All assignments are to use the APA 7th edition guidelines in formatting and in referencing. This is the late penalty. If you need an extension, please contact me before at least 48 hours before the assignment is due, so I can offer you an extension. The typical important course information for students, so understanding the Senate Committee on Academic Standards, Curriculum and Pedagogy website, the Academic Honesty and Academic Integrity website. It's no different from any other course. And other important requirements that students need to be familiar with for completing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. So where to look for the SPARC, where to look for accessibility and disability requirements, of religious observance accommodation, student conduct in academic situations. And then for more information, you can also visit the School of Nursing calendar. And it is a student's responsibility to be aware of all due dates and academic requirements. So lastly is just kind of a high-level overview of what we're going to discuss in class. I like to keep this very fluid. So what will not change will be the due dates. But if I find something that's kind of current in the news and I want to talk about that during one of the modules, I may substitute some of the course content for that. But in the meantime, please start off with your pre-work module. And then week 1 is January the 14th, and we will be discussing leading, managing, and following. And then you can see the next 12 weeks of course content as we go through here. I've also put in red the important due dates for the asynchronous class activities, as well as the larger assignments. So your scholarly paper, another class activity, your student-led change initiatives and presentation, and then the ePortfolio. So I will not be reviewing this syllabus in detail, but if you have any questions, we can discuss those questions in our first online class on January the 14th.